I remember one time huyu mtu alinishikia kisu. He was claiming his money that nilipatia Mama Liz. So I was just like, please, I'll give you your money. Please just give me time. This person doesn't care. Nikaona hapa penye kisu kimeinuliwa, nimeonyeshwa kisu, nitakufa nisipoamua. And then, when now I came to Nairobi, that's when I realized this person is HIV positive. Then this person said, yes, I am HIV positive. And you should thank God. I was planning how I infect you. You should thank God I didn't do so. Then you're like, my name is Monica Bulali. I am the fourth born in a family of 4, and I'm the last born. So we are 3 girls and we have 1 boy. I was raised up in Mombasa. My father was working in Kenya Ports Authority, and my mom, mostly she used to do business, selling majani chai. She was a wholesaler, so I really also got a lot from her. So we stayed in Mombasa for quite some years. I schooled there my whole primary school life at Chuda Primary School, and it was wow. Life in Mombasa wasn't that bad because basic needs were provided for. So it was quite good. And it was a bit tough because when we were still in Mombasa, that moment is when our only brother, he became very ill. I think I was probably in class 5, and he was very ill. Then when hospitalized for quite some time, the doctors couldn't tell what was the issue at all. And it was getting worse. And later he became mentally ill. Ill that he didn't even want to put on clothes at all. Just wanted to walk naked, or any opportunity he finds when he's alone, he just wanted to kill himself. So mostly when he was sort of tormented, the only thing that was to be done was to put him under chains. And it was tough for us because everyone was like, wewe na yule your brother mwenye ni mwenda wazimu. So at least it wasn't sweet. It lowers one's self-esteem. So we really struggled at school because all of us were in the same school. It was quite tough for him, but I thank God because now he's so different. He's still alive up to now, so I'm still grateful to God. So my father retired, and he had to take us back home. That is in Kakamega. And it wasn't easy at all because in Kakamega, things changed abruptly. There was no money at all. Then being in a high school in Kakamega, it was not easy because I was personally, my sister and I, we used to be sent home regularly because our parents couldn't be able to pay school fees. But my mom used to try because she would go out and really work in the farm so that whatever she gets, she could sell and bring the money as school fees. And it took time for the principal to be able to understand this. But I am very grateful because when he understood it, he had mercy on me. And at least he used to try to ensure that I found bursary and I remained in school. So it was quite tough, and it was a boarding school. But there was a time I think I was regularly sent away until I was told, now if your parent can't afford, then you have to be a day scholar, or you have to think of the other means. But I really thank God that he made a way through my teachers. Also, I thank my geography teacher because he's the one who knew what I was going through, and he tried to talk to the principal to have mercy on me so that I won't be chased from school. So I remained in school. Okay, so at that particular moment, we were at home. So life wasn't bad when in school because you're sure in school you're able to eat. But at home, it was tough because when you're at home, mostly we didn't have lunch at all because I think my mom really tried, but she had to plan how to be able to manage everything at all. So I'm very grateful for her. So after finishing high school, I went to Masinde Muliro University. But before I went to Masinde Muliro University, I stayed at home for 2 years. And it was quite tough, those 2 years. So personally, at home, my 2 sisters, our firstborn and the one I follow, personally, just that they also tried to manage life out here. Like the sister that I follow, she also just tried to educate herself in her college. So I think it didn't cross my mind because when I finished high school, I was just thinking that, from here, I know I passed and I'm going to university and things will be wow, but it didn't cross my mind that who will take me to university. There was nobody to carry that burden. So I stayed at home for quite some months. I was just pressurizing my parents. I want to go to university, but my mom used to ask, now where will she get the money to take me to university? But I like her because she used to really push me and tell me you have to also fight for your dreams to make it. So from there, 1 year down the line, no university, but I was seeing my friends, they have already joined, they come back, they tell you, nowadays I'm doing medicine, nowadays I've been taken to where, then you just pity yourself. Then another year is also coming while you're still at home. So while I was still at home, those 2 years, the first year I think I began teaching in a primary school, in a local primary school. So I taught there for quite some time, that whole year. I think they were paying me 3,000 shillings. 3,000 shillings. I taught there. Then the next year I was still also teaching there, and I began attending computer courses for the packages, just learning packages to keep myself busy. But now 2 years were coming to an end and Monica had not gone to university. And personally, I had told my mom, I don't want to hear anything below a university. Like if it is you're telling me about teaching, then talk of a degree, not a diploma. So I was so clear with what I really wanted, but I knew she didn't have the money. I don't know what kept me pushing for that. So I think for the second year when I was still working there, and I also used to visit my relatives so much, my uncles, inquiring and pleading them to help me, to support me, to be able to go to school. So a majority of them just used to tell me, bring your papers, I photocopy, I take them. I wait for response, none. I go back to their houses, I go to their offices. I just had to try this thing out because I knew there was no need of complaining too much. I just had to fight for my own life. So thank God for that second year, because out of that push factor of trying to go to university, that's how I met my uncle, the cousin to my father. He's called Mr. Andrew Musongo. So before I met him, I had the faith that I must go to university, and I challenged myself. And I took myself to Masinde Muliro University and I applied. I applied that I want to be a student there. And I knew clearly that there was no money, because even none of the relatives that were telling me they will be able to support me had made any step ahead to begin paying the school fees. So I stayed there for some time. So when I was there, I applied. But before I applied, I had tried other options. So for the second year, I had tried even medicine, trying to get my way through KMTC. So our next neighbor is a doctor. He's a doctor, and then the wife is a teacher. She was a principal by that time. So when I tried to talk to him, explain my situation, told him how I desire also to be a doctor, he just kept telling me, apply, try, apply. I apply, I check, and then I don't see my name. I really tried pushing this thing for quite some time, but it didn't work. And I just went to Masinde Muliro University, and I filled the forms. Then later I got a letter from them that I'm able to join the university. That's how I ended up being a teacher, because when I was asked what am I going to study, I just thought, what else? Probably I had been teaching kidogo and I had the concept of what or how it is done. So I just said, okay, let me just go for teaching there. So when I was applying for it and I got the letter, and then I went ahead to join. Masinde Muliro University is in Kakamega, so I preferred going to a branch. I went to Bungoma campus. I thought that I'll have an option of doing sciences when I went there. So when I went there and I told them I want to do sciences, chemistry, because I used to love chemistry when I was in high school. And I always used to tell my teacher that I wanted to be an analytical engineer there. But how life unfolded, I still thank God. Okay. So I wanted to do sciences, but they told me that they don't offer them. So I just came back to the other arts. That's how I ended up doing Kiswahili and geography for the 4 years that I was there. So when I was in Bungoma campus, and it was quite tough for me because I wasn't a regular student, I was a school-based student, because of already the challenges I was going through, and now I was teaching. I stopped teaching primary school and I went ahead to teach high school. I got an opportunity to teach in a high school. So when I was there teaching, I planned like I'll be teaching, and then during the holidays I'll be attending my classes. That is for the 1 month, the 3 weeks when the students will be off, then I'll be in class. So that one is school-based, and that's how I really managed to study. It wasn't easy. So the first semester, after getting the letter, and I happily joined, yet I didn't have a single coin. So I went back home with the letter and I told my parents, I've joined university. I need school fees. My father laughed and he said, where do you think you get the school fees? I told him, you just sell your cow. Sell one of the cow, give me the money, I pay, and then I'll see how it goes. He sold one cow. I think he gave me 7,000 shillings. I deposited, and I used to move to the bursary offices to ask and plead to be supported. So also the bursary, if I get 5,000, it's a top up. But that little fee couldn't help me at all, because at the end, for the first semester, you had to clear the fee before you do the exam. So that's how I was chased away from university. For the first semester, the exam was on, and because of the huge balance, I had to come back home. So I came back home, and I remember that day I was crying and I had a headache. And you know, when I was teaching now, this money they are paying is little. I think they were paying me 7,000 shillings. Very little. Because remember, in the 7,000, you are renting a house. You have to feed yourself. It wasn't easy at all. And then university, they need school fees. So you don't know how you really manage. But I thank God, because out of there, I managed by the grace of God. So when I was still there for the first semester, chased away, coming back home, crying, and I really had a headache. And I was just saying, I've tried all options, and it seems things are not working for my good. I was just saying, maybe, what if I just die? See, I die so that I get out of all this misery. But I thank God. So that time, I used to walk around and go to the cousin to my father, the one who has educated me. I could go to their home, at home, visit them, visit his father. And his father really loved education. So he could really talk about the importance of education. And I was always there just listening to him. And he knew my story, the challenges I was facing. And he used to encourage me, you utasoma, 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 siku moja utasoma. But I don't know how I was going to manage. And I thank God. And I rarely met the son, because he's not working in this country. So I just used to hear he used to come during the end of the month, probably. So I just used to be positive minded because of what my grandfather used to tell me. But luckily, that day I was chased away from university because of school fees, and I went there. I found the son, that is my uncle, and I was just crying because now I was just tired of this life. And he saw me and he asked me what's the problem, and I explained everything, how I've been chased away because of school fees, the situation at home. My brother is mentally ill, my sisters, they're just trying to figure out life. I think our firstborn was married, but it was just ile ya kujikaza kujaribu kutafuta. My other sister was also still in Mombasa. They were all in Mombasa, and she was just working in a hotel, zile tu za jaribu hapa na pale. I think that's the time she was also trying to support herself to do a diploma in a certain college. So it was quite tough, and you can't go back home because as you go home, where are you going to? Whom will you cry to? So I just sat there crying, and he was staring at me. And then I was so used to the people, the relatives telling me, nitakusomesha, but none was doing it. So I was like, if this guy is also telling me nitakusomesha, and I've heard that severally, and he's not, I don't know if he's going to do it. But I thank God because he just told me, okay, I've heard your story, just send me all your documents, the fee structure, your ID, your documents, send all of them to my email, and we will keep in touch. Then he asked me, if you've been chased away because the exams are now going on, how will you be able to do the exams? I was so confident that I'm going back there, and I tell the institution that I will be doing the exam as I move on with the study. And he said, it's okay. So I just forwarded my documents to him by faith. Like, if it happens, so be it. And I thank God. I forwarded the documents, and I went back to school. And I told the management, very soon I'll be paying my school fees and kindly organize how I'll be doing my exams. And they said, okay, if it will be so, it's okay, but it's okay for the second semester, you can keep on attending the classes, but you can't do the exams if you haven't paid. So one day I'm just in the class, then I see M-Pesa 60,000 shillings. Nikadhani hii ni ile ukora. Then I check the name, kumbe it's the name of my uncle. That's the miracle that I saw. Nikasema kweli Mungu yuko, and I see a miracle happening again. Kumbe ilikuwa school fees directly sent to me. Probably I thought maybe it would be through my parent or so. Maybe he would think that this girl could be lying or she's too young to handle money. But I had gone through a lot that nilikuwa nasema tu mimi nataka tu kusoma. Najua nyumbani penye nimetoka. I know my cousins, I've seen them, if they are ladies, the life they are living, this life that you don't finish school, that you just get married at a tender age and you keep on suffering. I was like, this is not what I want for me, apana. I want to be a voice to the people. So I was happy, and nikasema, wow, ameamua kunitumia mimi mwenyewe. So he just told me, the simple way we are going to do this is once I send the school fees, you just pay, and then you forward the bank slip to my email. Remember, he's outside, he's not in Kenya. And we never saw each other for, I think, 3 years. But he was just paying. Mimi nasema hapo ni Mungu mwenyewe alijibu maombi. So he just used to pay, and I'm grateful to him because I was also struggling to meet my basic needs. Because as I was teaching in that high school, when they were paying me 7,000, 8,000, it was quite tough being able to maintain yourself. So I appreciate him because if he sees the school fees was 55, he'll ensure he do a top up of like 5,000 shillings. And then he tells you that top up, you can use it to buy ABCD. And then I love him and I appreciate him because he used also to give me lots of advice. Like he tells you, if I've given you this particular little thing, that understand, don't go ahead buying like shoes, makeup or what. Those things will come with time. Relax, they will come. So I was so encouraged that ile kidogo kidogo unasonga mbele. And it wasn't easy because sometimes you see your friends and the school-based students were not young girls or boys. They were adults that are working, so they are just coming during the holiday to add knowledge. So they are working, they are getting good money, and you're just there struggling. They are looking at you and wondering, na wewe, si unafaa kuwe regular, wewe ni mtoto, unafanya nini kwa darasa la watu wakubwa? I think I was the only one. But I thank God later, I think when I was in second year or so, some new faces also came like me. Yeah, so I didn't feel odd that much. So it was easy to be spotted in class, even when a lecturer comes. Okay, angalia tu hivi anajua, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in a regular program. Unasikia uchungu, but you're like, so is life, what will I do about it? I'm already here. Or if students see you, the regular student, they're like, as young as you are, what are you doing in a school-based program? Hawakuelewa that situations happen in life. But I was focused, like mimi nilitaka tu kusoma, nikaendelea tu na school-based education for the 4 years I was in university. I thank my uncle. I think for the 2-3 years I was in university, he was just forwarding money to me. And we met probably when I was in third year, when his father died. When he died, and I attended the burial, that's when I saw him again. And I really felt bad because the father, the grandfather, is the man who also gave me a backbone, supportive system. Probably, maybe I always say, maybe he talked to his son and told him, kindly support this girl, please support this girl. So I do appreciate them so much. So there, then university. When I was graduating, that is 2016, quite odd. You see, many people are always happy when you're coming to an end of something, because I had many dreams like any other person. Like I'll build, when I graduate and get a job, I'll build this particular house to my mom, I'll do this, I'll be able to change. But things were tough for me, so different. So fourth year, I think towards the end of the year, my mom is diagnosed with cervical cancer. Hey, that was the breaking point. So it was tough. I used to go to school, same time, ask for permission, take my mom for the clinic, because she didn't know it was cervical cancer. She just used to complain to me that, it seems my menstruation is now exceeding the days. I don't feel well. And then like that, nikasema tu, mom, I think tuende hospitali. So like from one hospital unaambiwa she should seek more attention, doctor's attention. You take her to the next evil. So too bad. When you move on like that, that's when she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. Too bad. We thought it was fibroids, but now the truth is that this is what you are having. So that was a heartbreaking moment, because that was the moment I was also almost graduating. And when you hear the word cancer, you just begin thinking like, oh God, what next am I going to do? So it was tough, and I tried my best. Nikajikaza kumaliza university, and I tried my best. I used to take her to the hospital, and we used to spend days and nights in the hospital, because she used to have high blood pressure, and whenever they were to do a surgery, she will have high blood pressure. So maybe wanna postpone like that. I think she was also scared to get the news that she's having cervical cancer, and she just knew the next thing she's going to die. So she just gave up, like, I know I'm going to die, Monica, hata tusifanye kitu. I remember when we were in hospital one time, and the doctor now can't tell the patient the truth, but you are the one who's there that is being given the information. So he's like, hey, penye imefika, sasa mpeleke Kenyatta ama mpeleke Moi. Lakini ujue, hapa sasa ni pesa. Itabidi atamuuze shamba. And you're like, where will I begin all this? Hata ujue utaanzia wapi. So I didn't used to tell her what the doctor used to tell me. I just kept it upon me. And I graduated that 2016. Then too bad, on March 2017, that's when she died. I was in Kisumu. I had taken her to Kisumu Hospital. I graduated that 2016. Then too bad, On March 2017, that's when she died. I was in Kisumu. I had taken her to Kisumu Hospital. And my story is quite odd because that time when I was in 4th year, now I always tell this to help the ladies who are out there, whether in school or out there having their own life when it comes to relationship. So there was this guy, I can say we were dating or so, something like that. But that particular moment when I realized that my mom was ill and I could spend most time in the hospital, I think I never knew this guy so well. And a lot was happening underground. And then when my mom was almost dying, I just saw different signs of this guy, especially health-wise. Hivyo. Kumbe mimi sikujua the guy was HIV positive. I didn't know. I think I was also that naive girl and very confused with the many things that were surrounding my life that particular moment. Hivyo. And he never told me. He just kept silent. Akanyamaza pia. So after burying my mom, which was also tough because I was in Kisumu with my mom and she died and I was alone in the hospital and it was odd. It was tough. She dies and then you're told by the doctors transfer the body to another mortuary because the facilities that are here are of poor services. Mwili utaoza. Na sasa wewe ni msichana mdogo hata ujui, sijui tulikuwa 20 what years. Very nikaambiwa transfer na sijui na transfer naanzia wapi transfer. Nikatembea Kisumu mortuaries, different hospitals nikiuliza bei nini. Nikaona hapa nitachanganyikiwa. So I'm mentioning this part of the boyfriend because it's also part of the story and I just believe I'm helping someone out there. That guy was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. That day I told him, I've got the news that my mom is dead. Kasema, sijui nimesafiri nimeenda wapi hivyo. I was like, nimeachwa peke yangu kwa mataa. I called my dad. Sasa yeye alikuja, I think with his sisters. Wakaangalia tu mwili mortuary and left. So I'm like, maybe they are having they left, I was alone in the hospital with the body. Nikashindwa mimi naanzia wapi? And the doctor anakupressurize. You are supposed to transfer the body. It was on a Saturday. Aujui utaanzia wapi? Saa 6 ikafika. Nikaambiwa saa 7 ikifika ujue tunafunga mpaka Monday ndio utachukua mwili na ujue utapata mwili kama umeoza labda. Na usilaumu mtu ama ende uongee na mortuary attendant mpangane na yeye venye atatengeneza mwili. Yani you are confused. So mimi nikaenda kwa mortuary attendant and I had to negotiate with him, paying him I think 500 shillings to buy that particular liquid ya kupaka kwa mwili, kumdunga sindano, and then on Monday ndio nitachukua mwili. Na hata mimi mwenyewe naongea nilikuwa sijui naenda kufanya nini, ndio nifanye hayo yote namwambia. Nikampatia akakubali, akapaka kwa mwili, akaanza kudunga sindano. So unajua ukienda kuona mwili ulizoea kuona mtu mwenye yuko hai, unashangaa, kweli amekufa. Mimi naona tu amelala kama kawaida, sidhani kama amekufa, but kweli amekufa, amedungwa huko, amedungwa. So I was just walking in the mortuary, hata sikuwa na wakati wa kulia ati mamangu amekufa, kwa sababu unapelekwa mbio hata unachanganyikiwa. Nikabaki pale nje nimezubaa, what next? What am I going to do? Hata pesa sina. Then I know someone will ask me probably what of that particular uncle. So I didn't call him when I was graduating. I had a fee balance of 10,000. And you know, this man has helped you throughout. Just 10,000, you still want 10,000 from him. So nikaona hapa kama mtu amekusaidia all the way kumaliza tu. But 10,000 was hard kupata nikigraduate for the 10,000 to pay for the gown, kitu kama hicho. My mom is the one who gave me the money. But I was like, mom, ulitoa pio pesa. So that's how niliona pia nisimwambie kuhusu matanga. I was like, sasa umesaidiwa kusoma, tena uko na mgonjwa, tena usaidiwe kubeba mgonjwa, tena matanga unataka kuja kusaidiwa. So I wasn't for the idea ya kumwambia my mom is sick and then nimwambie oh sasa sijui nini. So personally I didn't tell him. So I was just alone. Nimesema this particular boyfriend because I saw drama there. Nikabaki nikajiuliza where am I going and what will I do in Kisumu. So penye the guy used to live, that's where I went. And I went to the neighbor. She was a mother, anaitwa Mama Liz. I thank God for her. She really helped me. And I told Mama Liz, I am so and so. Hey. And this is the situation at hand. My own mom now just passed. She's there in the mortuary. And I don't know what to do. And I just clearly told her, I've told the family, I haven't seen anybody coming. And I know the situation at home. I don't know at all. Kaniambia sawa, twende mortuary, nione mwili. Baada ya kuona mwili, we figure out what to do. So we went with her, akaona mwili. Nikakumbuka when we were in the mortuary, before I brought her in Kisumu, she was diagnosed when she was in Luanda, Sagam Hospital. And I remember when we were in Sagam, where she had a surgery, that's where I saw they also have a funeral home, a very good funeral home. Nikasema Luanda, kwetu ni Butere. Nikasema Luanda is near Butere. Why all the way from Kisumu? So I just said, Mama Liz, I think badala ya kubadilisha mwili tuweke mochari ya Kisumu, wacha tusafirishe mwili tuweke kwa mochari ya Luanda karibu na nyumbani. Akasema that's a good idea. So akaona mwili. Tukatembea kwa mochari za Kisumu, tukiuliza bei, tukaona zote, tukasema sawa, Sagam in Luanda is the best option. So that was on a Saturday, and akaniambia because already Saturday, let's do this activity on Monday. Nikamwambia it's okay. I didn't have the money. Then Mama Liz asked me, so what are they saying at home concerning this funeral? I also tell her, I don't know. I haven't seen people. I don't know. I've just texted people and informed them about the situation at hand. She said, okay, let's wait on Monday. So she just told me, on Monday, call your dad. Tell, you are not supposed to transfer this body alone. You are the daughter. So tell him to come himself also as the husband to be able to help you transfer this body. So I knew if I just called directly to say that he won't come, probably. So I just said probably, nikapiga simu nyumbani nikamwambia, kuna jambo hapa na hospitali wamesema ni kama pia nyi lazima mkuje. Hivyo ndo akakuja. I think he came with a certain guy also hivyo. Nikamwambia sasa mwili inafaa ipelekwe Sagam Hospital in Luanda. So on Monday, and I didn't have the money. So in the evening on Saturday, Mama Liz was asking me, so what's the way forward concerning this program? I don't even know what to say. I have nothing. Akaniambia, sawa, nitakupatia pesa, tutasafirisha mwili. Tukitoka hapo, tutaenda kwenu, nione kwenu, nijue from there. Tuone kama wako na mpango wamepanga kuhusu funeral, that will be good. Ndio tujue venye kutakuwa. Nikamwambia sawa. So I think they charged me 5,000 shillings to transfer the body from Kisumu to Luanda. Hivyo. So on Sunday, I used to go to Deliverance Church Kisumu. That time I was there. So I couldn't even sleep. So on Sunday I just woke up at 4 a.m. because we used to go for morning glory every day. I just went to church, praying, crying, confused, you don't know what to do. So people are seeing me in church and they're like, si huyu ndio mwenye mamake amekufa. How is it that she's in church? Hata wewe hujui unafanya nini hapo? I think after calling my sisters, now I know someone might be wondering, and where are the sisters? It was quite odd because that particular time we were in Kisumu, our firstborn, she's called Eunice, she also had transferred from Nairobi to Mombasa, Nairobi, then to Kisumu, Ahero. I think the husband had bought land there, so she was staying there. And too bad or too good, that time she was heavily pregnant. So the D-Day when my mom died is the same day that she also gave birth. So when she had the news, she also fainted. So I had a rough time. unakimbia mochari confirm mwili umetengenezwa, unakimbia hospitali kuona huyu mwingine kama ameamka ako kivipi. Sasa huyo ilikuwa you can't talk to her, you can't tell her anything, she's just like this. Nikasema huyu hata habari za funeral wacha tuachie tu hapo, tusimwambie chochote, tumwache, tutamuumiza zaidi. So my brother who was mentally ill, nilimuelewa hivyo, and I was fearing because he can easily get agitated, kukasirika na kuvunja vitu. So nilikuwa naogopa akianza kufanya hivyo tutaumia, but alinyamaza tu, kimya tu hivi. Sasa unashindwa kwani leo kutakuaje? Huyu hata unamwacha tu venye yuko. And I remember when my mom was dying, she was just crying like, oh my God, my son, oh how will it be? I'm like, Mom, I'll just try my best, I'll try to support the family. And then for my other sister, the one that I follow, she was still in Mombasa working in a hotel, and yeye ndio, she managed to come on that particular Sunday. She came and they didn't want to give her permission. Oh yes. And then she just came by force, so that means she lost her job. Akakuja nikamuonyesha mwili in the mortuary that Sunday. Akaogopa. Aliogopa tu kabisa from the word go. Akasema, I can't manage this, I don't know how you manage. Akajiamulia, Monica, let me go at home, let me go back at home and take care of things at home. Wewe endelea na hii funeral, mimi sina nguvu za kufanya hii. Akamwambia sawa, kama umeamua hivyo, I can't force you, go home. Akaenda nyumbani. So tukabaki mimi na Mama Liz. On Monday morning, the day we are supposed to shift the body, thank God my father came. He came. We took the hearse, tukasafirisha mwili to Sagam Hospital. I thank God. From there, I was peaceful because ile mambo niliambiwa daktari ati usipobadilisha mochari mwili utaoza. Sikutaka hivyo. So I was at least peaceful that my mom is in a safe place. Mwili ukakaa huko, paid the charges. I don't remember how much they were charging per day. And Mama Liza akaniambia sawa, tumefikisha mwili mochari. The next step tunaenda kwenu. Nikamwambia sawa, twende. Akaniambia twende tusikie hawa watu wa nyumbani wamejipanga kivipi kwa matanga. Tukaenda. Kufika kwa nyumba, watu wako. Lakini sasa Mama Liz had a vehicle. Too bad, it messed us. These people saw a vehicle. I think they saw a vehicle and imagine these people have millions. So when we were there, she asked, mmejipanga kivipi kwa matanga? Nimekuja kujua mmejipanga kivipi. Anaangaliwa tu hivi. And then people are telling her, see, we are assuming nyinyi ndio wenye mmekuja kupanga matanga. Sasa tunashindwa, what do we do next here? It was tough. So she just told me, Monica, just pack everything that belongs to your mom and turudi Kisumu kwenye tumetoka. Ni kama hapa kuna mpango, twende tupange matanga tukiwa Kisumu, tukimaliza sisi tubebe mwili tuwaletee kwa boma mwili. Yani ilikuwa tu chungu, but unajikaza. Akauliza sawa, mwili mnataka uzikwe lini? Wakasema Saturday. Akamwambia sawa. Tukarudi Kisumu. Kaniambia si umeona nyumbani hakuna mpango? Akamwambia yes. Kaniambia sawa, so I'm going to give you money, to borrow money nikupatie ya matanga. You'll have the money, I'll give you a budget and I'll be taking you everywhere to buy each commodity required. So tukazunguka tu Kisumu, tukienda Kibuye, akinionyesha penye nguo sijui za neti zinanunuliwa tunanunua. Tukienda wapi kwa making the cards tunatengeneza, nalipa nini, everything like that. I really thank her. I wasn't even doing, in fact I was staying at her place when I was there. I was just staying at her place. It was tough, but I thank God. Remember, I've forgotten the issue to do with the boyfriend. Kabisa akili imenizunguka tu kwa matanga peke yake saa hiyo. So Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, most people huko nyumbani wanatoa mwili mochari on Thursday. So Thursday tukaenda mochari tukatoa mwili. So nikaleta basi because I'm a high school teacher, then nika organize with the school bus, ikabeba watu from home. I was just trying to cover up anything isionekane ati kweli ni kama huyu aliachiwa. Covering everywhere I could cover to appear like all things were just working out well. Though nilijua ni mimi nilikuwa naumia in every part of it. So kabeba watu, kaleta watu, wakaimba nyimbo, mwili ukatolewa, mwili ukasafirishwa, ukapelekwa nyumbani, mama akazikwa salama hivyo. I thank God it was like that, but I thank God that is all. So I do appreciate Mama Liz. It wasn't easy for her. And so Mama Liz didn't have money, she had borrowed. And the question is, how am I going to repay Mama Liz? I think I was to pay her 20,000. Na ilikuwa ngumu. I didn't have a job. Na nilijua siwezi kaa nyumbani saa hiyo because hapo kwetu akukaliki. Nikajua mama amekufa, where next? So tukapanga na Mama Liz, tukasema si baada ya matanga, pesa inachangwa kwa matanga, we will take it and I pay her back. At home, unauliza pesa ya matanga mchango, no one is even answering. Sasa mimi sijaijua hiyo pesa ilienda wapi yenye watu uchanga kwa matanga, because that was the money I was supposed to repay Mama Liz. Nikasema sasa huyu mama amenisaidia, how will I explain to her si hakuna pesa, na yeye atalipa huyo mtu aliomba kwake pesa kivipi? Nikasema I have just to look for my own initiative to pay her back. So I went back to that boyfriend and pleaded, please help me with money to sort this particular bill. Mama Liz alinisaidia, and then I will refund. I'm just saying by faith, hata si ati nilikuwa na pesa. You see, I'm trying to say this to help the ladies out there. You see, that's an abusive relationship, very abusive. Mtu anakuongelesha venye anataka, especially after my mom died. Mtu anakuwa ni kama tu anakutukana, anakuongelesha tu venye anataka, like that. Before I was given that money, I pleaded and I really pleaded to be given, and I was like, I will refund surely. It's not that I won't refund. So I gave Mama Liz 20,000, but sikuambia Mama Liz hiyo pesa imetoka wapi. Sikutaka mambo mengi. I was trying to cover up every part. So nikajua hapa nyumbani mimi siwezi kaa nyumbani. Sasa nitaka nikifanya nini? And that guy was transferring, I don't know, to Nairobi. And that's how I found myself in Nairobi. This person just changed horribly. He became a monster, so to be said. It was horrible. I remember one time huyu mtu alinishikia kisu. He was claiming his money that nilipatia Mama Liz kulipa anataka. Na hii pesa nilikuwa nimengoja itatoka kwa a certain foundation. My mom was a member, but the foundation failed me because they said the money can't be given to me if the husband is still alive. It must be given to the husband. So that's how I lost it. And I didn't have another way to get the money. So I was just like, please, I'll give you your money. Please just give me time. This person doesn't care. Nikaona hapa penye kisu kimeinuliwa, nimeonyeshwa kisu, nitakufa nisipoamua. That's how I just shifted. Nikahama, nilitoroka. Si ati hata nilihama, mimi nilitoroka personally. Niambia tu sister yangu, tutafanya aje na tutaenda wapi? So my sister akasema, at least we had a family friend back in Mombasa who was also in Nairobi. She's called Rose Jerry. So Rose Jerry was hosting my sister. Mimi ndio nikatorokea to my sister's husband place. Uko penye alikuwa akiishi Jogoo Road. So it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I thank God. And then, when now I came to Nairobi, that's when I realized this person is HIV positive. I think all the attention I had during the funeral couldn't help me to figure out there was something missing, there was a gap. So, I just came across some particular bottles with funny scientific names. Then I Googled. Then I realized, oh my God, these drugs are used to help HIV positive patients. Nikasema, thank you Jesus. Alafu mimi sijui kunyamazia kitu. Na mimi nikasema nitauliza, na nikauliza, I've got this, tell me. Then this person said, yes, I am HIV positive. And you should thank God. I was planning how I infect you. You should thank God I didn't do so. Then you're like, hapa Mungu sasa, ni wewe tu. I don't want any other thing. I think that's why I've also taken time to be single. Like, one, I don't want to be a burden to somebody. I know the situation I came from, all that losing mom, trying to balance family, trying to help ABCD. So I don't want to carry my family also to be a burden to someone else. So I was like, I'll take my time, work on myself. When I'm really sure and I'm so ready that I understand what I want to do, then that will be the best time to do it. When also you settle yourself psychologically, emotionally, financially, I believe that is also very, very important. So I just left, but mimi sina roho mbaya ile ya ukienda mahali unachafulia mtu jina. I'm so cautious with whatever I say, and I personally just say to God be the glory for saving me, and sina ubaya ati unachukia mtu. Just forgive. You forgive and you say thank you God. So things got better, and I think from there I began to realize my passion and working on me, because all this time I was giving and giving and giving and giving. Nikagundua now also I need to work on me personally. So hivyo too, I considered now doing gospel music, and I've been producing songs, 1 song per year. I think because of the many situations and finances issues I had, but I thank God because probably last year, or it's 2021, things got better because I just began producing songs. Like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the line, I produce a song different from the other years. Nilikuwa nikifanya moja hivyo. So I'm very, very grateful to each person who always supports me to be able to do what I'm doing nowadays. And I'm also grateful because things have really turned out well, and I'm encouraging someone who's out there that unaweza kuwa umezoea ile comfort zone, wendo kusema kanisani. Toka kanisani pia sasa enda studio. Anza kupeana hizo nyimbo, ndio hivyo. I think it's good also people are able to know that kumbe there's someone she can or he can be creative to this particular point, and it's good also to add music in our gospel journey. To my sister, to my brother out there, I'd like to encourage you that despite the challenges you are facing, believe God, trust God that you can overcome. You can overcome. And I realized that those challenges, they beautify our journey, our story. You might be confused now, but I assure you in the near future, you'll be smiling as you'll be narrating the story the way I'm doing it today, because some years back I used to sob when I could even mention my mom died, but now I gladly say it and I give God the glory. God will strengthen you, so don't fear challenges, you will overcome them. So to my dear viewers, you can find me on YouTube, Monica Bulali. I am a gospel minister, I am an evangelist, and also I'm a songwriter. You can find me on the other social media handles, that is Facebook, Monica Bulali, Instagram, Bulali Monica, and TikTok, that is Bulali Monica. Mimi chombo changu wangu, na nimekuja kukuabudu na kuabudu